going to talk a little bit this afternoon about a murder investigation that we started over the weekend. Sunday morning at around 8:30, off-duty Jacksonville Fire Rescue Department firefighter went to his Intercoastal West home after working a 24-hour shift and found his wife, 38-year-old Kim Marie Dorsey, had been killed inside of their house. The Sheriff's Office responded and began our investigation. I'm coming to you today because several days later after that beginning of that investigation, we are not a whole lot farther along than we were Sunday morning. I would like to solicit the public's help for information on this case. This case has garnered quite a bit of attention because of the fact this is a public servant's family member who was killed. The public has shown a lot of interest and support thus far, wanting to come forward at this time, asking for help. Again, we worked that scene for several days, nearly around the clock, and like I said, because of the lack of witnesses, the physical evidence, nothing has led us a whole lot farther today in identifying or leading us to a suspect than we had that Sunday morning. These type of crimes occur. People tend to talk about them. Family members talk about them. Acquaintances of the suspects or suspect in this case would talk about it. Somebody knows something somewhere. We're asking not only family members of the neighbors in that neighborhood, but possibly anybody who's ever heard anything or knows anything to come forward. You can remain anonymous, obviously, like you can with any of these crimes. A simple call to 877-845-TIPS to Crime Stoppers. Give your information. Reward is eligible in this case. And again, this is a public servant's family member, and we want to make sure that anybody who has that information can come forward and help us.
Who is the firefighter? What's that person's name?
Derek Dorsey.
Derek Dorsey
Is the firefighter.
Talk a little bit about what you found or what the facts of the case are that you can tell us a little bit about.
As much as I can, I will. He had worked the preceding 24 hours, so he had worked basically all day Saturday, from an 8 a.m. shift Saturday to an 8 a.m. shift Sunday, and he was gone from his residence during that period of time. Again, our evidence and witness information hasn't led us real far with what Kim's activities may have been during the time preceding her death. That's why some witness information either from that neighborhood or somebody who may have known her or seen her around town would be helpful to us to identify what her activities may have been in the time frame preceding her murder.
Do you have any sense of what time she was killed? I mean, in that 24 hours at all, earlier or later?
Somewhat, but it's not enough that I'm real firm on that to come forward now and kind of let that out. But I do know, I mean, we do have a 24-hour window that I would feel comfortable saying, obviously, is during that time, sometime that the murder did occur.
How much evidence of foul play was?
Substantial.
Can you describe some of that?
I would prefer not to. Keep in mind that there's just about anybody out there who could be our suspect, and I don't want to let too much information to answer your question out. Again, too much information could be bad in this particular incident, but know that there was substantial indications of foul play, and obviously it's being worked as a murder.
And what about neighbors? They have been, I mean, you canvass them, but from what you're saying here, you haven't gotten a lot farther by doing that, so it would seem that nobody's perhaps saw too much. Is that
we've done a few neighborhood canvasses in that neighborhood, trying to catch people at different times of the day. It is a gated neighborhood, so there may be some people in that actual neighborhood who we haven't spoken to. If there's relative information that anyone has regarding the activities that Kim may have had that Saturday to that Sunday, we would certainly like to speak with them as well.
This is the Highland Glen neighborhood of the beach?
Yes, correct.
Okay.
Any other questions?
Is it strangulation or a knife, or did I mishear? Or?
I'm not going to go into the actual cause of death at this point in time. Again, anyone could be our suspect in this case, and I think it would be improper and imprudent to go into the cause of death.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Thank you.
For your cooperation.